The Psyche of Stress, Depression, Suicide Part 3. From stress to depression to suicidal tendencies, how do they develop? Let's talk about stress at first. Stress is integral to human modern life. From a very early age, we are taught to be competitive, to be a winner, be it sports, study, wealth, relations. We are always chasing a moving target of happiness as social media posts portray grinning people, vacationing at exotic locations, driving swanky cars, living in bigger houses and perfect relationships. Chasing this elusive, never-ending race for more and better is a stressful affair. The solution lies in daily introspection and staying grounded, which will help us to keep stress under control and unmask the charade of happiness and futility of needless pursuit. If we would peep in the mind of the so-called happy and successful, we might actually find that under the mask of happiness and splurging, they have the same stresses as other people. Both the strengthening exercises we discussed earlier should be used in conjunction with the supplementary exercises we will talk of in a few minutes. Fortunately, video classes by plethora of spiritual teachers have brought the age-old techniques of ancient knowledge in easy reach. You can now learn yoga and meditation almost free in the comfort of your house. Let's now talk about depression. Depression ensues if stress is not kept under check. Mind can cope with a sudden spike of unhappiness or grief, but if the unhappy period stretches for an extended period of time, it turns into depression. During depression, the situation feels hopeless with no solution in sight. The mind starts rolling in the misery of negative thought in a seemingly endless loop of pain and agony. Both the conscious mind while awake and in the subconscious mind while asleep, we are glued to this unpleasant situation. The solution is the same as the one for stress management. Additionally, modern medical intervention should be sought. One should take action to remove the cause of misery if possible. For example, for workplace problem, try to move to a different job, even a different city. For relationship problems, one can seek counseling. The idea is to move out of the hole of depression and see things in a different light, all the while strengthening the mind to cope with the situation until things change. Let's talk about suicidal tendencies. Suicidal tendencies appear when the bouts of depression happen repeatedly. Here, all attempts to distract or rather drown the mind in distractions of alcohol, partying, or other worldly pursuits doesn't help. Temples, religious preaching and rituals fail to support. The melancholy continues with the painful scenario playing repeatedly in the background like a nagging mosquito biting all the time. There is a tendency to withdraw from the world as unhappy mind sinks the physical energy. There is no desire to get out of bed in the morning and face the world. At a point it all becomes so painful and bothersome that the only way out of the nagging pain seems to be to stop the mind at all costs. But since all attempts to stop the negative chat of the mind has so far proven futile, there is only one last way left, and that is to shut the mind permanently by killing the mind and the person. But alas, only if the person knew there is no stopping the mind, not in sleep, not in death. The lost thought and breath at the end of current life is soon followed by the first breath and thought of the next life. If death occurred in an unhappy situation of the mind, next life at birth will begin with the unhappy and weak mind that will have to face the unfinished cycle of misery, cravings and aversions. Suicide is an ultimate sin. It makes the mind, or call it the soul, suffer for subsequent lifetime and beyond, unless it can be strengthened enough to overcome the craving and aversion and break the chain of misery. Solution would be to follow the same solution as advised under the slide for depression. Avoid depression very vigorously, thus avoid suicidal tendencies and suffering of the soul for your own sake. Take supplementary help also. Let us discuss supplementary help. There are ways to address stress and depression with supplementary solutions. Antidepressants. Medical help is for immediate but short term. Antidepressants will be prescribed which will supply chemicals that mimic feeling of happiness in the mind. This will help lower your anxiety and stress and help you sleep better and deeper, thereby promoting mind healing. Hopefully one can tide over the situation till such time that a ray of hope for the future appears. But be cautious that this is addictive. Once medication is stopped, the mind will again start to experience agony and the patient will go on to continue the medicine. Second, adopt minimalistic way of living, more permanent in nature. Excessive consumerism and show-offs is creating a never-ending race for more of everything. This is destroying people's mind and destroying the only planet we have. Learn to let go of the unnecessary materialistic possessions of the life. Stop running after more, bigger and better things. It is a never-ending race. This will also help you unload the mental baggage, and this can be truly liberating if you implement it with pure heart and not just knee-jerk reaction to a problem of life. Adopt helpful lifestyle practices. Turn to nature for maximizing prana energy. Eat fresh fruits and salads. Take ample sunlight. Breathe in the fresh air of natural surroundings. If possible, drink fresh water from natural resources. Walk barefoot on the grass so Mother Earth can soak your negative energies. Follow nature's rhythm for eating and sleeping. Eat fresh, healthy, high prana food. I have given a link to my previous video on the subject. Take up yoga and pranayama under guidance of experienced teacher initially. Reach out to close friends and support groups. Cultivate a simple hobby and learn new things. Spend some time doing what you like. Adopt a pet. It helps you to learn caring and companionship without the string of relationships attached. Avoid alcohol. It creates melancholy once sober. Final word of advice. Mental strengthening, healing plus training, that is meditation, is a must to live a happy and content life. Man cannot change his karmic situation and must face the consequences of his past actions. He can, however, develop mental strength to bear the situation without breaking down. Sometimes depression runs in families. It is hereditary. In karmic terms, the sufferers were born in the family for a reason. They will need to put extra effort to heal and train their mind to make a very conscious effort to stay out of the clutches of depression. It's possible. Do not be tricked by new age gurus and babas that offer a quick fix for problems. Follow the pointers mentioned and it logically makes sense to you and let the hard times pass. Remember also that there is no man who walked earth who did not see hard times, but the wheel of time and wheel of dharma is always in motion, so the hard times shall pass. Human life is precious, and hence do not waste it in unhappiness and sorrow. Find and walk the path of heaven on earth, for heaven and hell is both here in our mind. May you find peace and be happy.